Every day that I log on to the internet, man, it's drama everywhere I look. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You see people talking about what they hate in gaming, why a certain game sucks. You've got creators constantly beefing. You've got this constant quote unquote culture war that's been stirring up for years. Gaming is an insanely negative space at the moment, more than it's ever been. And I want to dissect it. I want to talk about the ins and outs of this hate era we're living in, some of the different types, why I think some of it's happening, and how can it change, or can it even change? Now, I'll start by saying I've been around the block with this gaming stuff. I've been playing games going all the way back to the Super Nintendo, and I've been active on the internet before YouTube was even a thing and we had to use dial-up. I've seen it all. And I can tell you from experience, what we're seeing right now isn't regular. This isn't how it's always been. Yeah, people have always had opinions and been critical of things or other people, and there's nothing wrong with having criticisms or even expressing your dislike of something. That's part of being human. But this is different. Today we have creators whose entire brand is based in negativity. Every upload, every tweet, every stream, all existing for the purpose of hate. We have people who are preying on a game's downfall the second we get a teaser trailer. Before they get to touch the game for themselves, before they even see what the gameplay looks like, they're already attempting to form opinions on how they can be critical of it. It's all really insane when you think about it, but why? What the hell is happening that this is so popular right now? See, from a creator perspective, one thing I've learned is sometimes you don't get to dictate the type of content that you make. What I mean by that is, if your goal as a creator is you want to be successful, as most do, you're gonna make the content that your audience wants. I've dealt with this a bunch over on TikTok. When certain concepts or ideas work really well and the audience has a positive response to that idea, you choose to continue expanding on that. For instance, maybe you post gameplay clips and they don't really do that well. Then one day you decide to post a skit and people love it. You realize people think you're kind of funny, and so you start to pivot more of your content into that format. Listen, nobody that wants to be a content creator wants to sit at 500 views for the rest of their life. You want people to see your creations, and so you're gonna do the thing that works best for that. Now, let's keep it a buck. Negativity sells on the internet. If you're unknown or not really that popular, people are gonna be more likely to engage with your content if you're being a dick rather than being nice. Controversy, right? You make a video saying why you love a game and a video why a game sucks. Which one do you think is going to perform better? And listen, obviously I'm generalizing here. This isn't the case for everyone, and I'm not saying that you have to be negative to pop off, but the numbers do kind of show us the chances are better at this point. And I'm not here to call out specific creators, but I definitely could. There's plenty of examples of people whose views skyrocket the second they switch from a specific type of content to one where they're being more negative and leaning into a specific category of hate. It's just kind of how the game is played right now. I also think a lot of these people, and this is just my opinion, they don't really have anything of value to bring to the table other than this. There's only a few different lanes you could take as a creator in the gaming space, so maybe you're not insanely good at a game. Being the next Shroud is kind of out of the question. Maybe you're not that funny. Well, that lane as a streamer is probably gonna be gone. Maybe you don't articulate yourself well. You don't come up with interesting points. Commentary is gonna be kind of difficult at that point. But something that never fails, no matter your shortcomings, is complaining. Just complain about how everything sucks, and then your lacking traits aren't going to matter. People are going to come across you, and some of them are going to complain with you. And while the creators most definitely have to take some responsibility for this, they wouldn't be doing it if the engagement wasn't there. The audience wants to consume this stuff. They want to hear someone angry and being negative. The viewer is pissed for whatever reason, so when they see someone else is pissed, now it's a family reunion. We can all come together and collectively hate these things in unison. And now you can even show me other things to hate as well. Let's say for a second that you love rock music, right? But you don't like a specific band. Are you going to spend all your time talking about how much you hate that band? Probably not, right? Like, that would be insane. You're going to talk about the bands that you like. But in gaming, we're seeing the complete opposite happening right now. People that claim they like games only spending time talking about the shit they dislike, the games they don't like, the things going on they don't like. From an outside perspective, you gotta understand why it doesn't really look like you love games like you say you do. This is different than criticism. I think being critical of things is important and actually shows more passion than someone who's not critical, because you're showing that you love that thing, but you also want to see it improve and continue to grow. But that's not this. People that love something will show they love it on a regular basis while also sliding criticisms in there. There's a lot of YouTube channels where you don't even have to watch their content. You can just read their titles. Every video is formulated around shitting on something else or a game or a group. These aren't platforms that scream, "Hey, I love video games." They say, Hey, I hate all of these things. But what is the cause of this? Why is everyone so angry? Why are we building a negative ecosystem? I can give you one reason. Motherfuckers are depressed, man. And people dance around this topic and shrug it off like it's not part of the problem. Listen to me. Y'all are not happy people. We're talking about people who spend the majority of their day behind a screen, playing games for 8 hours, scrolling social media, watching videos and streams and hanging out in Discord. These people are living the majority of their life virtually. And they tell you straight up why they do this, right? It's an escape from reality. You ever hear that one? I play games as an escape from the real world, to get away from the problems. So you're telling me you spend 10 hours a day on the computer to escape. You are depressed, my brother. No one who loves life and is enjoying their existence wants to spend that much time escaping from it. If your life was amazing, you would be out living, creating experiences. Gaming and the internet in general would be secondary to that. It would be a leisure activity, something you do to supplement free time, not something that you have to free up time for. You get what I'm saying? And the internet just simply existing plays a big part in this. It makes it so easy to remove yourself from an obstacle when life presents you with one. There's been many studies done on this, and it's almost unanimously accepted that internet addiction and the increased usage of the internet is directly linked to things like depression and anxiety and stress. When you're constantly being thrown images and videos of people being happy, enjoying their life, and you're just sitting there scrolling on the internet all day long, yeah, obviously that's going to have a negative effect on your mental. And when it comes to stuff like mental illness and depression, people cope with these things in different ways. There's people who wear their sadness outward. There's people that put on a happy mask, but inside they're bottled up. And then there's also people that live in delusion, people that have truly convinced themselves that they're happy and they're doing fine, and those fears and problems are pushed deep into their conscious to never be revisited. But a common side effect amongst all of this is trying to bring other people down with you. You don't want to see other people doing well or being happy. And so people spend their time pulling things down. It becomes part of their persona. You've got people out there that genuinely like a specific game, right? And instead of being allowed to just like that game, they've got a million people telling them why the game sucks, or the game failed financially, or this game's got no player base, it's DEI garbage. Trying to convince people who like something to stop liking that thing, or ridiculing them and making them feel bad for liking said thing. For that to make logical sense in your head, you either got to be an insane person or you're fighting demons, my boy. And they mask it as they're the good guys, right? That they're trying to take gaming back, that gaming has become so bad and all these companies are making bad games and everything sucks now. So they're actually the ones doing the Lord's work by calling it out so that it can get better. Here's the thing. At this point, I'm enjoying a new game on a weekly basis. My backlog of games I want to play continues to pile up. We are getting fed more good games than we can imagine. And you can't pull the gaming used to be better card on me like you can with the youngins. I was there, fella, for every era that you were. And yeah, there was some great games in our childhood, but there's also tons of stuff today that is worth recognizing. I don't need to spend my time strictly focusing on the bad because there's plenty of good for me to focus on. I don't need to convince people to hate the things that I hate. I'd rather bring awareness to the things that I think deserve more love. But I also don't live my life through a computer screen like some of these people do. I love my life and the people in it. Gaming brings me enjoyment, but it's not my source of enjoyment. Moral of the story, log off. Go be happy for once. Find your purpose and your peace, because you're not going to find it doing this dumb shit. That, to me, is the only cure for this negativity epidemic. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, or don't.